So, we're back. So, we returned. With one of the discs, we read the discs. And yeah, let's continue where we left. So, we had a lot of information to digest. Let's ask the dog what he thinks. Looking down into his huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. I pet him. Woof. Okay. I should spend karma now. Which is always a good thing. Okay. Magical attacks. I need that. Okay, and I need to train my body. Use to get a chance to hit and range comeback. The uses it. Yeah. Dodging. Okay, let's confirm that. Let's go. Call Amsel. The room goes quiet as everyone struggles to process what you've just seen on the DVD. Finally, Dietrich breaks the silence. A dragon? Son of a bitch! Green Winter set us up against a dragon? A fire wing. Amsel's voice is thick with dread. She lives. I'm really starting to regret the fact that I didn't just stay at the hotel. Wait a second. We don't know for certain. The evidence seems pretty convincing to me, love. I'll even take it up a step further. I think that secret facility that we stumbled into was her lair. The room falls silent. Iger and Glory exchange glances. After a moment, Dietrich continues. Just think about it. The decker that Winters got those coordinates from was posting about Feuerschwinger. Then she was killed by that same orcish bastard that attacked us after Monica died. That's a direct link between the dragon, the scarred orc, and the Harfield Manor. And then Winters was killed by the same thing that killed Monica. Exactly. My gut tells me that the dragon is down there, Space Wingman. Someplace far beneath the surface. I think that we knocked on the door to her lair without even knowing it. And I think that, given what we've seen, the dragon will do whatever it takes to keep us quiet about it. Okay, going on the assumption that there is a dragon and that she will come after us, what do you propose that we do about it? So I keep things simple. We head back there, kick in the door and kill the dragon. Problem solved. Okay, long enough in Shadowrun to know that that is a bad idea. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to follow Winter's advice. We're going to find Vauclair. Yes, Space Movement is right, as always. Finding Dr. Vauclair should be our priority. If we're going up against a dragon, we need to find ourselves a dragon slayer. Winter spent 20 years searching for Vauclair, and it got him nowhere. How do you propose that we find him? With the help of an information broker. I'll go talk to Altuk then, the Turkish guy, the information broker there. For this, no! While Herr Burak Ghazi is very capable, the task of this magnitude is beyond him. We need to make a contact with the premier information broker in Berlin. We need to talk to Alice. In Wonderland? Alice, best of luck, and I hope that you're rich. For this, rich enough, even if only just. Who is this Alice? The most prominent figure in Berlin's shadow community. Ex-Shockwell writer. She provides information retrieval services for the F-State. The fuck state? If Winters was right, if Voltaire is still alive, she can help us find him. Here, your key to speak with Alice. A cred stick? An encoded cred stick, yes, 10,000 Nuyen. Alice will not show her face for less. This represents the last of my personal savings, Space Wingman. Make this meeting count. 10,000 Nuyen just to talk to her? Used to be like a shadow legend? Huh. Her standard fee. Alice is in a position to ask it, and we're in no position to argue. Just like I said, why doesn't anyone listen to me? Where do I need to go? Take the U-Bahn to the Altstadt Spandau. There you will find a connecting tube that the locals refer to as the rabbit hole. You will find a method of contacting Alice there. Don't call it that in front of her, though. Word on the street is that she hates it. Please hurry. While you're out, I will work on acquiring new contracts for the team. Alice is the best there is at what she does, and her services carry a price tag to match. Okay. Should I take the dog with me? I tell him to stay put. Yeah, I don't want to take him to that. I mean, most likely deadly meeting. Okay, let's do this. Go to the streets. And I made a terrible mistake. After the run, after everything, I should have actually restocked my stuff. Okay. All nitro. No, I don't need that. Did I already do that? Okay. We are clear to go for a fight to the death. Okay, let's check if someone accuracy is increased by send this. Yeah, thanks to a stash. Don't need that. Okay, let's just check out if there's any trap around here. Okay, let's do this. The only active console in this derelict span of U-Bahn platform is an old video arcade machine. The CRT monitor set into the machine's cabinet glows invitingly. Cheerful pixelated graphics swirl and dance on the screen. Investigate the machine. At the base of the controller panel you find a clearly hidden input port. The port is shrouded in black plastic and it appears to be the approximate shape of a typical cred stick. Let's put it in. The internal motors grip the cred stick and pull it into the machine. It disappears into the port and the screen goes black. Moments later, a video image fills the screen. The picture is dark and grainy, a far cry from the bright, colorful sprites that previously inhabited the display. On the screen is a dimly lit office. The place looks like it was pulled straight from an old detective movie. From the ventilation blinds on the on the windows to the great swath of shadow that paint the walls black. Center stage, sitting behind a large mahogany desk, is the silhouette of an impressive-looking woman in a charcoal gray suit. The tip of a cigarette glows cherry red in the shadows. She leans forward into the light, and you catch her first glimpse of Alice. Her face is all hard planes and sculptured ankles. With high cheekbones and almond eyes, her lips are painted a frigid blue, but the look in her eyes is even colder. A head of lustrous black hair is interspersed with flowing streams of neon light. Alice exhales a plume of smoke, then tips a cigarette into a nearby ashtray. She fixes her eyes on you, and her lips curl into a humorless smile. We're on your dime, friend. Tell me what you're looking for. I need you to find someone for me, Dr. Adrian Vauclair. She raises an eyebrow. The Dragon Slayer? Interesting. He's been missing for a long time. Yes, he has. The question is, can you find him? She looks you in the eye, and the smile disappears. Her voice is all business. If he's out there somewhere, I'll find him for you. He could be living under an assumed name in California Free State. And I'd still track him down. And if he's not alive, I'll tell you where you can find his corpse. Decking 4? Okay. Alright, I'm satisfied. Let's talk about the job. Alice steeples her fingers. Alright, here's how this is going to work. When you give me the go-ahead, I'm going to start gathering information for you. Once I finish, you're going to bring me a cred stick encoded with an encryption key that I'll provide you. That cred stick will have 50,000 Nuyen on it. When I get my cred stick, you get your information. This is the deal. Take it or leave it. Okay, I should take it. Okay, but remember, you say go and I go. From that point on, you are on the hook to pay me my fee. No turning back, no refunds. Are we square on this? Yes, we're square. Good, I'll be in touch. Screen goes black. Moments later, the machine reboots. The colorful sprites that you saw when you first approached the cabinet return. There's nothing more to see here. Alice is gone. Let's get out of here. Hey, Chief, what's up? What's up? Okay. What's up? Any thoughts about the last run you'd like to share? Well, Chief, I wasn't around for most of it, but you got me out of the hotel, and for that you've got my eternal thanks. And I better have. Ah, the dog. Should have taken the dog with me. Woof. Let's talk to Dietrich. Hey boss, what can I do for ya? How are you holding up? You seem to take Monica's death harder than the others did. Yeah, I should take his personal feelings into consideration. Nah, no harder. While I'm less buttoned up than the most, than the others are. Igel will never let herself show any weakness, and Glory, well, she's too full of chrome to feel much of anything. Me? I don't give a damn. I spent too much of my life putting on a show for others already. What do you mean by that? I used to front a punk band, way back then. Believe it or not, I've spent a pretty good chunk of my life on stage. Whenever we weren't playing, I was living up to our fans' expectations. Spooting off, getting into fights, getting drunk, getting laid. Not a bad life, all things considered. Wait, you can sing? I was the frontman for a punk band, boss. Fuck no, I can't sing. But I wasn't half bad at riling up a crowd. What was your band called? Oh, I doubt it, boss. We never really got any airplay. Spit it out, old man. Alright, boss, if you insist. The band was called Messerkampf. Spelled just like it sounds. The big capital letters with an exclamation point. We weren't a big act or anything. We sold a few records here and there, toured around Europe. We had a decent following in England, and we holed up in London from 31 to 36. Spent most of our time slumming it around the East End, and picked up enough cockney to irritate the folks back home. Truth be told, that whole chapter of my life is a bit of a blur. We didn't do it for the fans or the fame, and we sure as shit didn't care about money. All that mattered to us was staying young, and drunk, and angry. We managed the second too. Good God, where has the time gone? Well, anyway, boss, everything ends eventually, and I washed my hands off all of this years ago. So let's change the subject, if you don't mind. Yeah, let's ask him. I'll get into the shadows. Wasn't a big leap as you'd think. I already had a healthy disrespect for authority, and I had the magic to back it up. One nice thing about shamanism, as long as you keep your idol happy, it doesn't matter what else you do. The Dragon Slayer chose me to be his servant, and as long as I was scrapping with someone bigger than me, he didn't much care whether I did it on stage or in the shadows. Tell me about the Dragon Slayer. Not much to tell. He chose me when I was just a kid. I could always feel him in my heart, goading me to laugh louder, hit harder, and get rowdier than the rest. Of course, my family didn't understand, but the hell with them. I thought I knew that I was destined for greater things. So I listened to him, and I cracked the skulls of a lot of bad people. He saw this and was pleased, and rewarded me with magic. And I used that magic to crack bigger, thicker skulls, and so on. It's a simple life, but a good one. Okay. Well, we found Winters. That's something, I guess. The whole thing has me feeling uneasy, boss. But at least we have a direction to look in. So long, Dietrich. Take it easy, boss. Look, I owe you an apology. Oh, is that so? Yeah, it is. When Monica died, I was pissed. That probably doesn't come as a huge surprise. But I took that anger out on you, and I shouldn't have. Seeing Winter's body like that was enough to convince me you couldn't have done anything to help Monica. And I couldn't have either. We're dealing with this something new. Monica was a good friend of mine. Her death hurt. I got carried away and I said some things I shouldn't have. I want to apologize for that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. There are a few things that I want to say. Go ahead, nobody's stopping you. Yeah, let's play nice. You're a valued member of this team, Iger. We need you now more than ever. I'm glad that you're on my side. Cut the bullshit, fearless leader. I don't respond well to flattery. Forget it then. Yeah, I will. You should go. I've got prep work to do for our next run, and you've got more important things to do than watch me pack my gear. Hey, team. Is kinda alright. Need something? Any thoughts about the last run? No, Specimen. Nothing right now. Everything still okay with you? You'll never need to worry about me, Specimen. I'm fine. You can't have started... okay, let's talk about, ask her about her past. Okay, what was she then? That's not a story that I'm interested in telling out of context. If you really want to get into it, we're going to need to go back, way back. I'm not sure that you want to do that. You say that you'll give me answers when we talk about your past, so let's talk about it. Why do you care? Because I'm the leader of this team and I need to know as much as I can about the runners who are working with me. That's actually a good reason. Alright, fine, we can talk. But we're doing it on my terms. This is a long story, long and ugly and cruel. Are you sure that you want to hear this? Please. Alright, I'm going to start at the beginning. Not for you, for me. I guess that it might help me to say all of this out loud. My family lived in Stuttgart. It was a nice enough place, I suppose. My parents worked as wage slaves for IAFMU. My mom was a good person. Once upon a time my father was a decent person as well. That's what Mom always told me, but I never knew him that way. She pauses for a long moment. The dad that I knew was an old, damaged Euro-war vet who turned to hardline religion to make sense of the world. In Stuttgart, that meant either the Ritter Christi or their fascist cousins, the Kreuzritters. My father chose the latter path. I still remember hiding in my room when my father had his Kreuzritter brothers over for prayer group. They would drink and get rowdy, then spend an hour or two riling themselves up with talk about heretics and the devil's work. Then they'd go find some poor elf or dwarf, stomp the living shit out of him, and drown him in the Neckar. That's a river, by the way. The Neckar. Meanwhile, I'd be holed up at home with Mom, who would commemorate the event by drinking a bottle of wine and crying herself to sleep. Just elves and dwarves, I assumed that a mage or an orc would make a more tempting target. What, you mean pick on a victim who could fight back? Chloe shakes her head. No, my father and his pack of jackals weren't up for that kind of trouble. They had more than enough of real combat when they were young men, back in the Euro Wars. They just wanted to feel big and in control of their lives again, and it didn't matter to them who they hurt in the process. Anyway, aside from the fact that my dad and his buddies were a bunch of murderous assholes, life was pretty normal. I went to school, made friends, hung out with my mom, kid stuff. Then I turned 14 and everything went to shit. Chloe pauses, then swallows hard, ever so slightly. Her cheeks flush red. Suddenly she looks self-conscious, as if she's just snapped out of a trance. As quickly as it came, the flush of emotion disappears. Her voice thrusts over. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Yeah, let's stop at this point. You don't need to say anything that you don't want to. But if you ever want to talk, you know where to find me. Thank you for your understanding. Now let's get back to the job at hand, shall we? And email checking. New messages. You have no unread messages. Jobs directory. Jobs, main, view all, and pending active jobs. Back to root. Da-da-da. Relevant keywords. Red client screwed me. Benno is a fraud. I broke my first rule. Always get full payment up front. Left me hanging for 50% of the cash after I completed the job. I'm sure he'll have changed his name by the time this posting goes up. Male elf, brown hair, gold eyes, look to be in his mid-30s. Be careful who you work for out there. Okay. Never thought I would see you admit to a mistake on here. Thanks for the heads up. I'll keep my eyes open. Will forward any info I came across if you are still looking to collect from the guy. Send you some surveillance footage. Is this your man? Sure is. Nice one. I split the peg with you if this lead pans out. Good to find there's still some honor among runners. Okay, someone didn't pay a runner. That's actually a stupid idea. Okay, is there any elf club or bars in the downtown area? I really want to meet one. They are just so beautiful. Maybe we can go dancing. Do elves like dancing? There's one on Torstraße. Bring a bouquet of roses. Elves love romantic. The elf clubs I know are members only due to creepy groupies like you. Not really appealing when a guy is only after them for the shape of their ears. Ooh. Post pay data for sale. Let's attach data to escrow account. Data will be automatically sold to the highest bidder. Both parties will remain anonymous throughout transaction. Okay, we got that. Walk away. Should maybe save this. Game saved. Let's continue.